So I guess I'm going with the theme of either having my hair done or my makeup done, but never both at the same time. Today I thought I'd do a My Drunk Kitchen style of my February wrap-up. Oh yeah. If you don't know what that means, it means I'm not entirely sober. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lit Sisters, and today I'm gonna do my February wrap-up! So, for the month of February, I did really good. I read 4 books, and they were not like short books. They were all like at least 400 pages, I think. So, they were all kind of pretty good books, pretty good sized books, and so I'm pretty proud of myself that I read 4 of these in this month. I've been on a kind of a reading slump, but I feel like the audiobooks really pulled me out of it. So, highly recommend that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get right into my February wrap-up. The first book I read this month was Mystic River by Dennis Lehane, and I loved it. I absolutely love this book. I was kind of skeptical going into it. I just had never had any desire to read it, and I was only going to read it because of my book club that I'm a part of, because that was the pick for that month. And so I picked it up. I was just a little skeptical. I didn't really know much about it. I knew it had been made into a movie a couple years back, but I just, I wasn't really expecting anything. I didn't even know anything about it. And I loved it. It's a really gripping story. Like, once I started reading it, I just couldn't put it down. I had to know what happened next. It's a mystery about a murder. They're trying to figure out who has murdered this girl, and it follows 3 guys who were friends as kids and kind of went their own separate ways growing up, and through circumstances of this girl's death has brought them back together. It was just really fascinating. It was just how the mystery unfolded was interesting. I don't know, it just really sucked me in, and I really loved it. If you haven't read this book, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's really interesting. I loved it. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Read Mystic River. Yes. And the next book I read this month was Silver Linings Playbook. This was our book club pick for the month of January, but there was some snow and bad weather, so we weren't able to have our meeting in January, so we just did a double meeting in February. And so I actually ended up finishing Silver Linings Playbook in February, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting. I liked how it was told from this perspective of someone who has a mental disability, and you really saw a lot of that throughout the book. More so than, if you've seen the movie and not read the book, I recommend you read the book just so you can see a lot more of the mental disability shows in the book, and I thought that part was really interesting, seeing coping methods and stuff like that within the book, and I really liked it. I think I enjoyed the movie a little bit better, but the book was still really good, and like I said, there's a lot more of the disability in the book than there was in the movie, and I always think that's interesting to read about and kind of get that perspective, It's good to have perspective. I mean, why not let loose here and there? Everybody should just kick back and have some fun when they need to, provided you are 21 years of age or older. You are not allowed to have fun before you're 21. Just kidding. There's plenty of fun you can have without alcohol, guys. That's been my PSA announcement for the day. Thank you. The next book I read in the month of February was Heir of FIre. I know I've been talking about reading this book for months, and I finally finished it, and I loved it, and it's my favorite one in the series so far. I loved Heir of FIre, and spoiler alert in case you haven't read it, but I love how Rowan and Selena are sort of like the Throne of Glass equivalent of Parabatai from the Mortal Instruments series. They're like basically Parabatai in the Throne of Glass series. I just love their relationship. Like, at first I really hated Rowan. I didn't like him at all. I thought he was a jerk. But then, like, the character develops and you really get to like him, and he's just, I love their friendship. And I really hope nothing romantic springs up between them. That was the one gripe I had about this book. There was just too many romances, like too many ways things. There needs to be no more romantic interests. Like, the 2 is enough. I don't need these other 2 ones that sprung up in this book. It's just too much. It's too much love. Too much love. But I loved it so much. And I thought it was interesting, like at the end of Crown of Midnight, it ended with Selena leaving Outerland And now at the end of Heir of FIre, she's returning to Adderland. Loved Heir of FIre. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, go read it, yes, now, do it. And the last book I read was Unhinged by A.G. Howard, and it is the second book in the Splintered series. It's an Alice in Wonderland retelling, essentially, and it was my TBR challenge for the month of January, and I didn't finish it in January, but I did get it finished this month. And, oh, Mystic River, if I didn't mention, was my TBR challenge for the month of February, and I did finish it. For February, I had read a book you know nothing about, and I didn't know anything about Mystic River, so that was my pick for that month. And then in January, it was read a book that's been sitting on your shelf for a year or longer. And for that, I picked Unhinged. I actually really liked Unhinged. I liked it better than the first one. I thought it was a little bit more interesting. I was a little disappointed they didn't get to Wonderland in this book, because I kept thinking that was where it was leading, but I thought this book was more interesting than the first one, and I'm excited to read the third one if it continues to get better like the second one did. Unhinged, really liked it. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. Good read, good read, good read. And that is all for this video. That's all the books I read in the month of February. I enjoyed all of them a whole lot. Let me know what you guys read this past month and what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. And also let us know any book recommendations or any videos you'd like to see us do. And please, please, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos every week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy reading!